He couldn't see the crowd, but he recognized something was changing. Everyone tried to silence him, yet his voice grew stronger. One desperate cry stopped Jesus in his tracks. As Jesus approached the city of Jericho, a blind man sat by the roadside begging. He was positioned where life passed him by, close enough to hear footsteps but unable to see faces. For him, the road was not a path forward, but a place of waiting. Each day likely felt the same sounds, the same dust, the same dependence on the mercy of strangers. Blindness in that time meant more than the loss of sight. It meant isolation, vulnerability, and poverty. There were no systems to protect the disabled. Begging was survival. This man had no title, no influence, and no security. He was known not by his name, but by his condition. As the crowd moved past him, the blind man asked what was happening. Someone told him that Jesus of Nazareth was passing by. That name carried weight. Stories had traveled far beyond villages. Stories of healing, mercy, and authority. Though blind, this man saw something others missed. Opportunity was near. He began to cry out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." This was not a casual request. Calling Jesus Son of David was a declaration of belief. It recognized Jesus as the promised Messiah. The blind man, often ignored by society, spoke a truth many educated and powerful people refused to say aloud. The crowd reacted quickly. They told him to be quiet, to stop shouting, to stay in his place. His voice disrupted their order. His desperation made them uncomfortable. They believed access to Jesus should be controlled, managed, filtered. But the blind man refused to be silent. Instead, he cried out even more loudly. His persistence reveals something essential about faith. He did not ask politely and then withdraw when rejected. He recognized that this moment might be his only chance. Silence would cost him everything. Jesus stopped. This detail is powerful. The movement of the crowd halted because of one voice on the margins. Jesus did not ignore the cry. He did not rush past it. He commanded that the man be brought to him. The same crowd that tried to silence the blind man now encouraged him. "Take heart," they said. "Get up, he is calling you." Circumstances changed the moment Jesus responded. Voices that once discouraged now urged him forward. The blind man threw off his cloak and jumped to his feet. This action is often overlooked, but it matters. The cloak was likely his only possession. It collected coins, it provided warmth, it represented security. By throwing it aside, he acted in faith. He moved toward Jesus without knowing what would happen next. When he stood before Jesus, something remarkable occurred. Jesus asked him a question. "What do you want me to do for you?" At first, this may seem unnecessary. His blindness was obvious. But Jesus did not assume. He invited the man to speak his need. Faith is not silent, it is expressed. The man answered simply, "Lord, I want to see." There was no elaborate speech, no explanation, no justification, just honest desire. Jesus responded, "Receive your sight, your faith has healed you." Immediately the man could see. Light replaced darkness. Shapes formed, faces appeared. The world opened in an instant. But the miracle did not end with restored vision. The man followed Jesus, glorifying God. His healing became testimony. His gratitude became worship. The crowd, witnessing what had happened, also praised God. This story is not only about physical healing, it is about spiritual sight. The blind man saw who Jesus was before his eyes were opened. Many in the crowd could see physically, yet missed the truth standing in front of them. The blind man recognized Jesus as the Son of David. The crowd recognized him as a spectacle. The difference is profound. This passage reveals how desperation can sharpen faith. The blind man had nothing to lose. He did not protect dignity or reputation. He cried out because he believed mercy was possible. The crowd represents resistance to that kind of faith. They valued order over compassion. They assumed they knew who deserved access. Their behavior exposes how easily people become barriers between others and God. Jesus dismantles those barriers with a single action. He stops, he listens, he invites, he heals. The question Jesus asks, "What do you want me to do for you?" still echoes today. It forces reflection. Do we know what we truly seek? Are we willing to name it honestly? The blind man did not ask for money, though he needed it. He asked for sight. He asked for transformation, not survival. His request went beyond temporary relief. Faith is not measured by volume alone, but by persistence. When discouraged, the blind man cried out louder. When silenced, he refused retreat. His faith was not fragile. it was resilient. This story also highlights the danger of proximity without perception. The crowd walked with Jesus, yet attempted to silence faith. The blind man sat apart, yet understood who Jesus was. Following Jesus does not always mean understanding him. Being near truth does not guarantee recognizing it. The blind man's healing leads to immediate discipleship. He followed Jesus. He did not return to begging. He joined the journey. Healing changed direction, not just condition. The response of the crowd also changes. Praise replaces rebuke. Witness replaces control. Encounter with God reshapes perspective. Luke places this story just before Jesus enters Jericho, where another unlikely figure, Zacchaeus, will encounter transformation. Together, these stories show that no one is too overlooked, too broken, or too distant to be seen by Jesus. This miracle shows that Jesus responds to faith expressed in humility. The blind man did not demand healing. He asked for mercy. Mercy recognizes dependence. There is also courage here. Calling out publicly risked ridicule. Faith often does. Trusting God can make people uncomfortable, especially when it disrupts routine. The blind man teaches us that faith does not wait for approval. It seeks connection. Jesus' question reminds us that God desires relationship, not assumptions. He invites participation. He listens. The miracle itself happens quickly, but the preparation took years of waiting, listening, hoping. Faith was formed in darkness. Many people today experience different forms of blindness. Not all are physical. Some cannot see purpose. Some cannot see hope. Some cannot see God at work. This passage offers encouragement. Jesus hears cries that others dismiss. He stops for voices ignored by crowds. But the story also challenges. Are we more like the crowd or the blind man? Do we silence desperation, or do we make space for it? Do we assume who belongs, or do we invite? The blind man's faith was active. It moved him to cry out, to stand up, to let go of security, and to follow. Seeing led to praising. Healing led to testimony. Faith led to action. Jesus did not require credentials. He did not ask for explanation. He responded to trust. This story reminds us that access to Jesus is not controlled by people. It is granted by faith. The road to Jericho was busy that day, but one voice mattered enough to stop everything. That voice still echoes, reminding us that faith expressed sincerely never goes unheard. Thank you for watching this video on Holy Path Insights. If this message encouraged you or gave a new perspective on Scripture, please like the video, follow the channel, and share it with others who may need hope today.